Well, according to New York Times report, 3 Iranian officials confirmed the deal, saying Tehran agreed following frantic diplomatic efforts by Pakistan and urgent backing from its key ally, China. The Iranian National Security Council has officially confirmed the agreement, presenting it as a diplomatic win in which the United States reportedly accepted Iran's terms. All right, let's go back to General V.K. Datta, who has been with us for the last 1 hour or so. General Datta, I really want to understand the ceasefire is one part of the story. The impeachment of U.S. President Donald Trump is another part of the story. Oil prices, passage through the Strait of Hormuz, and that is a passage which had pretty much kept the entire world on tenterhooks, is the third aspect of the story. But on ground, the kind of destruction that Iran has seen, somebody will have to pay for it. Is it going to be the $2 million per ship that goes through the passage, through the Strait of Hormuz, which will pay for reconstruction? Or do you think Iran is going to be absolutely adamant on US and its allies to pay for all the war damages inflicted on that country? And until that ratification, that guarantee comes in, the ceasefire continues to be held in suspension.
Absolutely. The 10-point program given out by Iran has highlighted all the demands which they've been saying from right in the beginning. They wanted the compensation to be given for the attacks, unprovoked attacks, that's what they say, lifting of sanctions, withdrawal of all military bases of the US in this area, and guarantee that there'll be no further hostilities ever in this area. So now, as far as the compensation is concerned, whether they agree finally in that negotiation that Iran will continue levying that tax on all shipping which going through this area, and a removal of sanctions so that Iran can sell and do trade with all partners which have been sanctioned by the US and the UN, that will automatically replenish a lot of funds which will be required for rebuilding the damages which have been caused in the Iranian territory by the combined operations of Israel and US. So now whether America pays in dollars or they remove sanctions, it is maybe one and the same thing, because if America is made to pay compensation, it will be a bigger slap on the face of Donald Trump than to just say, okay, I've lifted sanctions, now they can trade freely and earn money and the people of Iran can prosper. So I personally feel that maybe some levy of tax in the states of Hormuz, which is generally done even when you have a pipeline going through a country, that country charges a levy on passage of that fuel or gas through that area. So similarly here, if the states belong to Iran, they will tax anybody who's coming to and fro and passing through the state and share it with Oman, which they have already made a statement on. Now, as far as the regime change is concerned, that has not happened. The aim and objective of Iran and Israel, other than decimating some military capabilities of Iran, nothing more has been achieved. They have, of course, diminished the Iranian Air Force, Iranian Navy, the oversea assets. Their midget submarines, their fast strike boats, they're still intact. And they were waiting for somebody to come and attack in the Persian Gulf, all the states. So now, decimation of the military assets to a large extent, but the fighting power of Iran has not been diminished. And Iran has proven to the world that it has got a world-class missile technology and drone technology, which even the Russians use for over now 5 years, continuing in Russia-Ukraine war.
Right.
So that Iran will become stronger in the Middle East. Iran has become a leader of the Islamic world, because that is the only country in the Islamic world which has stood in front of the Americans and the Israelis so far.
Right.
So the domination of American bases and by the virtue of their bases in the Middle East is going to diminish to a great extent. That is what I feel personally, because the regional countries will now give more weightage to Iran for whatever it says in this region.
All right.
And in particular, the monarchies. The monarchies are scared of their own monarchies. That is why they wanted the Americans to come and sit here and safeguard their monarchies. But now, after having seen what Iran can do to them, they might change track and maybe more amicable to Iran. And I'd like to just take you back. Why did this war start? The 7 October terrorist attack 2023 by Hamas on Israel. And why did that attack happen? If you recollect, there was going to be an Abrahamic Accord, and Iran was not in favor of that. To scuttle that, this entire episode started, it ended with the killing of the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran. In other words, Israel has taken its revenge for the people who planned the attack on Israel on the 7th October 2023.
Right.
Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthi, and finally Iran. So now, if you talk from the Israeli perspective, yes, they have taken their revenge. If you talk about the American perspective, were they able to change the regime? Maybe not, but maybe a more moderate and a more, a level-headed regime, which may actually think of logical conclusion of the
Fair enough.
Conflict.
Fair enough,
So
General
finally,
VK Datta. I see your point. I think what you're trying to say is that if there is one winner potentially in this conflict, it potentially happens to be Israel.